Hi, so today we're going to be forecasting what the economy will be like in the USA from years 2015 to 2020. So right now the total debt to GDP is about 73%, but economists have concluded that by about 2018 the total debt to GDP will be at about 68%, which is decreasing by a really large amount. Also, we find out that the unemployment rate, according to CBO, will decrease to about 5% as opposed to the current 7.2 unemployment rate. But according to another source, the Blue Chip Foundation, they conclude that the unemployment rate by 2015 will have decreased to 6.6% rather than 5%. But even though this is a differing opinion from CBO and a bit more pessimistic, it's still decreasing from the 7.2 unemployment rate we have. So either way, we are still improving. Another source has also told us that by about 2015, the CPI rate will have gone to about 2.3%, which is a massive improvement over what we have now. The unemployment rate appears to look like it will decrease exponentially as well as the GDP. The economy seems to be improving with time. A sluggish growth by 2015 will occur, but a growth nonetheless will occur, which is very good for our economy right now. According to these next charts, you can see how the GDP, unemployment rate, and CPI will improve over time, and how the economy will improve with it as well. According to a recent report from the American Society for Training and Development, 60% of the new jobs being created will require skills only held by 20% of the entire population. By 2015, 76% of all U.S. jobs created will require highly skilled workers. For example, people with special skills in math, science, engineering, or technology. One of the industries that will be really big in 2015 and onward is the vitamin water industry, which is to say, because of its convenience to make. Also, the social network and game development will continue to prosper because of the technological world that we live in today. It only makes sense that they would continue to grow and improve over time with the economy. Also, the solar panel manufacturing will also grow because people are growing more and more conscious about saving the planet and making sure that this planet is here to stay for the rest of our lives. The PC industry will continue to decline because it's not as technologically advanced as the technology that's in the world today, so it's only natural that the PC industry will decline as the economy and the technology improves. Also, there's evidence that the oil production will decline by 2015. However, there are a lot of sources that say that oil production will continue to grow. John H. Cochrane, a professor of finance at University of Chicago, believes that additional fiscal stimulus, borrowing and spending means higher taxes later on, which could usher in a low growth lost decade. This is to say he believes that borrowing and spending money is a very bad idea and that it will ultimately be the downfall of our future economy. He thinks that borrowing and spending money rather than paying off our debt and getting the job done will ultimately make our economy crash or just not improve over time. John H. Cochrane also believes that if we continue to borrow and spend rather than pay off our debt, the dollar will ultimately lose its value, which I believe could possibly happen if we continue to spend so frivolously. A geopolitical event that could affect the economy of the US is the stock market crashing again, which proved to have lots of really bad repercussions, and I think that if we continue to spend and not pay off our debts, the stock market could crash as a result of it. Another geopolitical event that could occur is global oil output capacity could increase to 110 million barrels per day by 2020, which is a lot of oil. This will be the largest increase in a single decade since the 1980s. In conclusion, we can see that from the years 2015 to 2020, the unemployment rate and the GDP will decrease if we stop the unnecessary spending and borrowing and attempt to pay off our debt. Also, we can see that the CPI will also go down as a result. Basically, the economy will improve slowly and very gradually over the next few years from 2015 to 2020.